What internet marketing expert should you spend your valuable time listening to? Listen to someone who has over 20 years of web marketing experience and hundreds of website marketing success stories. That man is Aaron Sparks from Site Strategics. And this is Edge of the Web Radio.
Speaking of, your consumer is actually connecting online about you as well. And if you let's preface this a little bit. If you didn't know there's a world of reviews out there, then let's talk about it real quick. If you've heard of Yelp, if you've heard of CitySearch and Kudzu, and on top of everything else, Google Plus reviews, these are public correspondence that consumers of your services or of your business, they're contributing their reviews of their experience of dealing with you as a company, right? Now, those things can go one of two ways. Everybody can love you, and that's fantastic because that's a big advocacy when people are actually shopping services, right? They're looking at the reviews before they even get to your website.
Right.
And we can't stress that enough. That's your biggest salesman right there before they even click on the link going to your service. But, you know, and we've seen this before, is that negative review that's out there. And all heads turn. You could have 15 positive reviews, but that negative review, we all know it. We're all subject to the same thing. We'll spin around and look at what that negative person said. You know, the deal is that the reviews are very, very important. But if you get into that space, we've also heard horror stories as you start interacting with the negative reviews that may be launched against your brand or your company. It's pretty risky, and there's a lot of companies that are of the mindset they just don't want to go into this space. They don't want to engage. Engagement is wrong. Don't talk to them. Don't feed the bears, right? Negative reviews, how to deal with negative reviews from, like I said, there are two types of people, right? And jerks are the ones that we want to talk about. These people may or may not have a legitimate reason to leave a negative review on your business, and you know what? It doesn't matter. You could have literally broken your back to help them, right, and they still fuss online because they are miserable people, and complaining about things online is the one thing they take pleasure in. Speaking out of hand here, I've seen it. I've seen it. We've all seen it. We've seen people screaming. You know, quick tips for identifying reviews from jerks, for the most part. Whether it's Yelp, Google, or another site, click through to the reviewer's profile and check out their other reviews. Have a look. Jerks have nothing good to say about anything, and they love spending their time complaining online. Their profile will be likely full of negative reviews. You know, they don't have the ability to reflect rationally on what happened and point out some things that went right in addition to the things that they didn't like. You won't find any positive sentiment from those profiles. You know, look at a lot of extreme statements in all caps, such as, "I hope this business goes up in flames. Everybody dies." You know, those are the type of flamethrower bombs that they send regardless of any type of culpability or accountability on their part. I mean, It's very dramatic and it's very sadistic. Here's some best practices for dealing with these type of jerk reviews. Regardless of the content of the review, respond with a generic but genuine message. Do not at all address specific points of the concern raised by this person. Okay? This won't get you anywhere. And I recommend doing something like this. Thank you very much for your feedback. We are sorry we were unable to meet your expectations and hope you will give us the opportunity to make it up to you. If there's anything that we can do to help, please feel free to contact us.
Oh.
Bang.
We should put that disclaimer on this show.
If it didn't meet your expectations, we've got a podcast. You know, if that jerk responds to your responses, right, do not respond again. It'll almost certainly be another nasty message. And that person is just sitting around waiting for you to fight back.
Yep, they are.
That's what they live for. So don't give them the satisfaction.
And they're good at it.
They're very good at it.
They practice a lot.
And they'll do it in so many different venues,
right,
so many different review areas. Future viewers will understand if that reviewer is a jerk and appreciate that you did the right thing. Because here's the deal. You may be scared of that type of engagement. You may not even want to have review properties out here, but I guarantee you is that consumers are getting more and more savvy. They know what they're looking at whenever they're looking at a negative review. Okay? Now, negative reviews from rational, reasonable people. As business owners, we must understand that these type of reviewers are our friends, not our enemies.
Yep.
We must put our egos aside and learn from their comments. Reviews from these people can be so valuable if we allow ourselves to see the criticism as a positive rather than a negative. Quick tips for identifying reviews from the rational, reasonable people. Whether it's Yelp, Google, or any other site, click the profile. Rational people typically have a mix of positive and negative reviews, right? If there's anything, if there are any positive comments mixed in the negatives in the review, you're most likely dealing with a rational person. Phrases, look for the phrases like this. I was disappointed with, right? Or I felt that the service was, okay? Rational people speak rationally about things that bother them. For example, there's a Google Plus review that we were looking at for an Aspen Dental company. The person was Alana T. Alana is a perfect example of a rational, reasonable person leaving a negative review. She begins, "Unfortunately, I cannot give this place a good review. I've never reviewed on Google Plus before, but felt I needed to share my experience. Before I get into the negative, I will have to say the front desk and dental hygienists were very pleasant and nice to work with. Overall, good customer service in person and over the phone." Now, that's a reasonable person right there.
Right.
I mean, they're actually giving up a bit of good of their experience. Now,
And they were probably at their last rope,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of people won't go to social first.
Right.
They'll try to contact you and stuff, but this is, you didn't respond, so now I have to write.
that's absolutely correct. And, in that space, you can certainly see how things can evolve if you don't answer these. And more importantly, Doug, you bring up a very good point. If you don't have a system to be able to ask for reviews and embrace reviews right away, we actually have a system where we can actually text people
It's a great system.
right after their engagement or after they meet us at the office. We'll send a text message and we have their cell phone number and ask them, "How was your experience? Thank you so much for coming in," right? It's a great positive environment. We have a great meeting environment and we ask for that review and that goes into an email system. It does not go directly to Google Plus or Yelp. We're actually asking for those positive reviews and we'll send over, based on the review criteria, we'll send them our properties to go share that opinion after we've evaluated that review. We'll also intake that, and if there's a negative review, we want to make sure we reach out and talk to them as quickly as possible and be able to say, "Hey, what can we do to actually make this up to you?" They haven't gone ballistic. They haven't gone online. They haven't waited 10 days and they're furious, so they're going to give a negative review, This is where you can actually intake and control the review before people are lambasting you online, because by the time it gets there, right, it's pretty much already over. You do have to respond if it warrants, but at the same time, do not respond to that jerk. Okay.